All right. Wow. There it is. All right. What's going on, Brent? So,
Hey, bud.
guys, welcome to the Rekkr RC TV live stream. We're here with Brent Hockman of In the Works RC. He's coming up with some crazy designs and some links, 3D printing some pretty intense stuff. You see him playing with something in his hand over there. That's one of his new special pet projects he's got going on. And I mean, the stuff that's coming out of your little shop is pretty awesome. So why don't you go ahead and give us a little scoop on you? How'd you get into RC?
Oh, man, I've been in RC ever since I was a little kid, and my older brother got like a Tamiya grasshopper or something. I don't even know what it was, but it was cool. And so once he got tired with that, I took it over, hand me down, and uh, been in RC ever since.
So I'm noticing a trend. So many people here are starting with the Tamiya Grasshopper.
Yeah, yeah. It was just probably one of the only things back then, I guess, that was in any hobby shop around. That was probably a fair price for a parent to buy for their kid. So, but the crawling didn't come till later on. Once I started driving, 16 years old, had a Jeep, put a lift kit on that. Did all that myself. Saw the Nylent Jeep from Walmart, and I think that thing was like $50 or something. And they had the Scorpion and the Jeep. And so I remember like all of my buddies around here were just going to all the Walmarts and buying all of them. And they were belt driven, just big old plastic axle housings. And, immediately started doing stuff to that, chopping, doing the flat belly mod, and then progressed to Clodbuster and doing the stick chassis and all that stuff, getting into 2.2 big old stuff, and trying to do, I guess, super crawlers would it be called.
Almost like 1/8 scale.
Yeah, big stuff, and it's kind of really it's actually hard to find places to drive them. That's a challenge, So um, finding big obstacles to crawl over, you normally have to pack all your stuff in a car and go drive. Where
Yeah.
I like to have a little course in my garage. I can just, work on my scaler, make some changes, and see how it does. But yeah. And then I guess after the Clodbuster came the AX10. After the AX10, we had, I think I rocked out the AX10 for a long time. And then I went to the XR10, to an MOA crawler. So that's kind of where I
Hmm.
was at. I went from like a shafty, which would be considered a shafty, and I wasn't into any other kind of comp crawling back then. It was just all just crawling just to have fun.
Gotcha.
And so from that to the XR10, and that's when I started a little business. And I was working at a machine shop at the time, and I started a little side business making little bolt-on accessories for the XR10, and it was called Uphill Creations. But that didn't last very long. I kind of just lost steam with it, basically. And scalers weren't around back then. You didn't really have as much of as much clientele basically to
Right.
reach um, as you do with the scalers. So yeah, it didn't really go far. It was fun, and I sold out all that stuff. Pretty much got out of RC crawling for a little while. Got the family going, all that as I progressed through the years of life,
And
and yeah, got back into RCs pretty heavily, like 2 3 years ago, I guess, and just started buying stuff, trading, dealing, and figuring out what I wanted to do. And then scalers came along, and that's all I've been doing ever since. Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you. I just had AVG randomly pop up because that's what AVG does.
Oh, God, go away.
But so you've got a storied history with RC. A lot of modifications, a lot of creation, a lot of getting, real froggy with your scissors and knives. Um,
Yeah.
so you got a little business going on here called In the Works RC. So um, to disclose to everybody, Brenda is my first sponsor, and I mean I've bought quite a few links from you before we even came to that, including the first set I ever bought from you, right here on my Motorama Jeep, which
Oh, yeah.
will be seeing some Class Zero action actually. Um, we will see that, praying that she doesn't break because she's an RC 4-wheel drive. It is what it is. We all know their downfalls.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, so tell me, how'd you get started in the within the works?
It was like last October, I guess, and I was just making stuff for other people so much, and just people bringing their crawlers over to my house, fixing them up, completely redoing them, making links, and I was like, man, I could, I might have something here. Let's see if people like these, So I started putting a couple for sale ads on Facebook, and um, got good feedback. So yeah, from there it just progressed to a website, Instagram, and now just try to keep up with it.
Yeah, you've been blowing up. You offer a lot of trucks that are kind of weird, such as like the HPI. Not everybody likes it, but when people like it and they learn about it, they latch on. You got a really weird following there, and it's
It's
awesome.
yeah, and I've noticed like where the orders come from. There's like a pattern, like this country almost like Australia. Wow, there's a lot of people with an HPI venture in Australia, or um, Chula Vista, California. Wow, there's a lot of people with Red Cat Gen 8s. I don't know what happened, but a whole bunch of people from this community were buying link kits off me just for that truck. So it's like, one person catches word of something, and it's cool.
That's awesome. Um, just I got a random question for off air. See if a name pops up. With one of the big Aussie RC guys that has a giant YouTube channel as well. If you sent him anything, because I think a cross might be up your alley. If you know who I'm talking about.
I don't think I do.
Okay,
Unfortunately,
we'll talk about that one later.
all right.
Because that's something I'd be interested in investing, as well as the enduro. Looking forward to that thing.
Yeah, can't wait to see that. It looks like a cool truck.
Yeah, I'll make sure I bring mine over to you. So outside of the links, you do all kinds of other stuff. So tell us about your well, your the fun side, the froggy side of the business.
Yeah, Froggy side is basically sitting behind a computer screen designing stuff out of my mind. Like a lot of times I don't even draw it. I just go straight to the computer and start designing it, and print it out, see if it works. Just that's the process, and uh, design it, print it, test it, repeat until you get it right. And once I'm happy with it, I put it out there. If I get good feedback, then I'll add it to my website.
So you got something. You're playing with something. I see that. I see a spur gear just going. What's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
what's that in
The
your
same
hand?
fidget spinner right now. It's the Ford Trans. It's I'm holding in my hand here, so you can see that, and see the bolts there holding it together.
Is that axial?
Yeah, so it uses the AX10 gears, the little one and the big one, and that gives you the same 2.6 to 1 gear reduction before your pinion and spur. So you're getting a lot of gear reduction to go to an overdrive transfer case, which in my case, I got this unit here that will throw out about 46% overdrive. It's wicked looking. It's almost like it's dragging the back tires. So And once it gets on a hill, though, it just pulls. It's so cool looking.
That's interesting. Are you? I don't want to give away secrets because I know a little too much. But so I think thinking about that. You mentioned the AX10. Are there other other transmissions or setups that you can work with as well?
Um, well, my next thing I'm going to do is basically eliminate the spur gear and just go straight from the motor to this same gear combo, and that'll work for like low-C guys that want to run the worm axles. I got a buddy out in Ohio who wants me to do that for him, so that's kind of like my next little transmission project.
Oh, that's interesting. Just use a straight drive shaft.
Well, yeah, because they have such their transmissions are, gosh, I can't remember what the gear ratio is, but it's really high because the axles are 28-1.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's right. They're worm axles. There's
Yeah.
so much being lost. But yeah, that's awesome. Um, wow. I'm just trying to wrap my mind around that as we go. Um, so looking forward. I know a lot of people, they're either axial guys or right cat guys. You got a few that are like a little bit of everything. Because I like that. You have anything coming up for a TRX? Because that's a special bunch right there, and I'm
The
part of
only
that
thing
bunch.
that I'm working on, like, I've had a lot of requests for the flat skid plate, but I'm just kind of against that because it's just going to push all that drivetrain up. It doesn't help your center of gravity, and I could do it, but I don't think it really is going to help people. And um, as far as going from the factory setup, but that's just my opinion. I know Bowhouse makes that flat skid that you know basically rounds off all the link mounts for you and stuff and makes it a little bit smoother to glide over the rocks. But I don't want to reinvent something that's already out there. I want to try to come up with something new. But the TRX4 is kind of a hard platform to play around with. I mean, the latest thing I guess is the 4 link servo bracket. That's coming out. That's pretty cool.
Nice.
Um,
That's something
but
I'm interested in.
yeah, yeah, if that's what you want to do. But for me, I just see that servo sitting way up high, and you know, where are you going to put your battery and everything else? Because that's if your servo up travel has to go up that far, then your battery's going to have to be up pretty high. I just start going down the list as far as what repercussions it's going to have on where you're mounting stuff. I don't like servo on axle. I like the chassis mounted servo. And that's mainly because, I run Sorka comps and I get the points for it. And if you got it set up right, it works great.
So, and that's a great point because you're now coming against people who are like, oh, I just want to do just one style comp. I want to do just one style versus
Oh,
someone.
if I was not Sorka, I would be servo on axle for sure.
Okay,
I think it's definitely a better way to go. I would set up my rigs completely different if I was doing servo on axle.
okay. So, I mean, thinking about that, um, would it be all right? So this is, I guess, coming from a point of view, a standard point of view. Would it be possible to make up some points if you decided to do the servo on axle? I mean, you could always make up some points somewhere with some extra people in the truck, but
Oh yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, as far as making up the points, yeah. Um, but yeah, another thing on my mind is weight. Always, I'm always thinking about weight. I'm still running plastic drive shafts. I've never had an issue with my drive shafts. I've spun a couple. I've twisted them, but I don't run brushless and high power. So I'm still running stock 10-2 drive shafts. Never had an issue. Um, and keeping the weight down low is definitely something that's on my mind the whole way through a build. Um, yeah.
so like I guess thinking about that, um, so you're coming from a school of thought where light is king. And for our viewers, I've had the opportunity many times to watch you kick my rear end, and your school of thought totally
Hey
makes
man,
sense to me.
you're like fourth place. You're like right there. You're so close.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just need to not hit gates. Um, and my scale points. That's the difference, or else I'd be there.
Yeah,
Uh,
you're close.
and you also got another driver, Lawrence Shields. He comes up from Maryland. He's been out. He's a heck of a driver too. It's like literally just like 1-2. I'm not distant fourth, third, fourth.
Yeah, it's always a good time. I
It's
can't wait to comp. It's going to be a blast.
yeah. Are you designing it again? Because I'm down.
Uh, yeah, I'm definitely going to have a hand in that one.
Good. At least
But
one of the courses.
trying to make things not easier, but a little bit more approachable.
10 gates. 10 gates.
And 10 gates was nice too.
Yeah. That 15 was rough. So for those that are just watching, like what's going on, Brent had the honor of designing probably one of the single hardest um, rock crawling competitions I've ever had to drive. I don't know what's in his brain, but I do not want to see him and Bill Riddle get together because it'll be insane. Um, with Bill comes up with mud,
You
Brent
got
comes up with rock.
an imaginary friend. You can do it.
Yeah, you got something. But like I was saying, he comes up with some crazy lines you have to learn, and you have to know your truck, and you have to know what's going on. Um, and that's where I like to definitely. I need to get out and practice with you. Is what it comes down to.
Yeah, man. I mean, the weather, that's what it's shaping up to be. So we'll get it done.
Yeah. Looking for that forward, getting back kind of on topic. Do you guys have anything else coming out that it's going to be, pushing the limits, if you will, like making other manufacturers, other small shops, kind of like really look at what they're doing, and like, oh wow, that's really cool. What do
Well,
we
I'm
need to
sure
do?
every company that designs and puts out projects, because there's so many companies out there that, just working with customers, I learn about new chassis that I didn't even know existed. And so, everybody, I'm sure, makes their stuff for what they think is best. And that's what I'm going to do too. I'm going to make stuff for what I think is best, and it's going to give you the most performance. Um, I do like things lightweight. I like to keep the weight down low. Um, I really like the 3D printed parts. I've had really good results with them as far as strength and durability and heat resistance, all that stuff. I've definitely put my parts through some tests to make sure they can hold up to the elements and what people are going to put them through. Dropping the truck from 10 feet, whatever. Um, Next on my plate is a full chassis kit. So that's what I'm working on. It's going to be, similar to other manufacturers as far as all your cross member pieces, skid plate, but the bonus will be is that the transmission I'm working on will be incorporated into the chassis design.
Interesting.
So, and it'll be at a good price point to where it's going to give you a little bit of a head start into a major project for class 1, class 2, or class 3, because essentially what this is going to do is give you a forward motor setup, really similar to Toyzuki, where it's on the driver's side, it's low, and that's going to combat with torque twist being on the driver's side. And going to that center transfer case works great for anybody that wants to do full interior, or they want to run that overdrive, or they want more gear reduction. It's going to give a lot of options. So it's definitely not like just for one market. It's going to be hopefully for a wide variety of people.
So I'm familiar with some of Toyzuki. I haven't really played with it. I know that you love your Toyzuki with a passion. I guess the biggest comparison, I'm going to pull it up my RC four-wheel drive, but I've done the motor drop, and that happens to be a 550 can stuck on a short wheelbase.
Yep.
So it's something along the lines of like that.
It's similar to that, and that's a great setup. It works well. But the motor is, one of the heaviest pieces of the truck,
Oh,
other
it's
than your.
the heaviest in this one.
And so it really is nice to have it a little bit further back to where you can get it down lower. And, I run servo winches. If I wasn't running a servo winch, I would have my LiPo battery up there. And that's kind of where I keep, chassis mount servo, battery. If it ain't the battery, it's going to be a servo winch. And the motor placement with this is just going to give you a little bit lower center of gravity.
Okay, because I mean, on this particular truck, I am running a servo winch, but it's higher than I want it to be. But
Mm-hmm.
I have zero room to put it like back here or here because it's all taken up with the body.
Yeah,
Like
full.
it's as low as it can go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you're
So
staring at it. You're thinking,
this is going to be perfect because you're going to have that motor low forward. You'll be able to have two servos up front. You can still have your side trays where you put your batteries, and all of that's going to be included in the kit as far as the plates, cross members, skid plate, chassis rails. So
that's what I really that is interesting. Needless to say, because I that's my biggest downfall on this particular truck is weight, flat out. This is a heavy little thing. You've had it
mhm.
in your shop. You know what I'm talking. It's a heavy little creature.
Yeah, it all adds up. I don't even like running aluminum shock mounts. Like, I still run plastic shock mounts because, I mean, my panhard brackets, um, it's 3D printed, but it's a lot stronger than the stock axial panhard mount. That's for sure.
That's
But yeah,
an yeah. I ran yours in that
wait,
100
I'm
gate.
yeah, yeah, and I'm definitely always trying to reduce sprung weight. So any weight that's on the chassis.
Yeah, I've and I think that's going to be really interesting. I'm definitely interested as we go forward to really look at what your chassis is going to offer. And because it's the thing to ask. Is it going to be compatible with portals?
Compatible with portals. Yeah, it will because it's just an LCG, low center of gravity design. So it will work with portal axles. And the transmission, once I get it set up to run straight from motor to gear,
Hmm.
that's going to give you a high enough ratio to run to just basically a split drive one-to-one transfer case, then to your portals, where you'll get the rest of your gear reduction.
Okay, that makes sense. That really does make sense. Um,
The gear ratio should be pretty close to a stock TRX4 Sport transmission,
okay.
I think.
You got a little more math to do, but it's getting a little late. I'm sure you
Right.
got a bunch more things that you got to work on. So that definitely catches my attention. And I ask this not only because I do enjoy a portal or two, but that seems to be the forward push. So many people are trying to put the TRX4 axles on something that it shouldn't have
Yeah.
it. And make it work.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I mean, I haven't taken the plunge. I haven't stepped into the dark side yet, if you will. So I'm still all axial over here.
That's okay. Um, we
I mean,
will
I've probably every type of crawler through my shop, but I don't. Yeah, I don't own anything else other than axial.
look. There's nothing wrong with that, especially if it's a platform you like to go and you can
Yeah.
drive. That's your platform.
Hey man, I like them all. I mean, I've seen your trucks go, and I think they all do great. And all companies create products that are, they all do the same thing essentially, right? It's just just what you want. It's just like driving a Toyota versus a Honda. They both do the same thing.
Yeah, and I prefer the GM over everything. But that's life. I mean, you're a Ford boy. It is what it is. We all make mistakes somewhere.
Ford, fix or repair daily.
Yeah, it's okay. You can say your fair share about GM too. I gotta do. I got to do a bunch of car stuff soon, but that's beside the point.
It's inevitable.
Oh, it really is.
Yeah.
So really thinking about like where you're going. Um, you got a small shop, and props to your wife for working with you and putting
Yeah.
up with it.
Oh yeah. Long hours. A lot of hours in the shop. That's for sure. A lot of time sitting in bed with a laptop designing stuff. Like, when are you going to turn that thing off? But you know, it's awesome. She's a big support system for me. So, I couldn't do it without her help. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And encouragement to keep going. And, you know, she had some other things going on. She pretty much put on hold just so I could keep progressing with this. So it's awesome.
Wow, that's selfless.
For sure.
So, is there any you have any plans in the future to get a little bigger? Maybe bring a young one on, if you will, someone who's like 16, 17, just trying to get into RC and learn the ropes. Um,
That would be
because
cool.
that would be cool. Um, and I mean, I'm pretty sure we both have a kid in mind that's out your way. Uh, that we both know, we've seen drive and enjoys his X Max.
Yes, yes, sure, sure.
So
Yeah, I know he's pretty busy, but yeah, I mean, there's definitely certain pieces of what I do that other people could help me with, but it's just me doing everything. Everything that the customer receives, my hands have touched.
and for those people, I know, I like I said, Brent, you're one of my sponsors, and let me just like take a second and highlight some of your work, your creativity. I gave this truck to you to as really my first real sponsor deal, and you just went to town with it. Those links, they're straight sexy. There's there's nothing else other than to say. We had the high clearance ones on, but it was just too much. And you just went to town. You just said, "All right, give me a couple days," and I came back through, and there it was, ready to go, buttoned up. Like, you took it to the limit. And I have to go get to my
But,
buddy's place and get the gas
but
tank that fell off.
yeah,
My daughter.
I got more scale stuff for
Oh
you.
no, I my buddy found it in the middle of his yard. My daughter grabbed my controller and says, "Daddy, go!" And well, it was doing wheelies.
Nice, nice.
She's a toddler. She does things
Yeah, yeah.
just like your little ones. They just do things. But yeah, that but the work that you've said, that you've shown, that you've done is impeccable. You give options. So tell us a couple. I'm kind of go back a little bit. Tell us a couple of options on your links.
So yeah, I sell links, brass, stainless steel, and then like a mashup of stainless steel and aluminum, or all aluminum. Um, and yeah, the brass, all of the links have a lifetime warranty. All of them come with beefy Traxxas 5347 rod ends included in the package. And they're available straight, high clearance. I got it right there on my website. If you don't see what you need, just shoot me a message. I can help you out. I had a guy send me a message. He wanted to do a 14 and a half inch wheelbase SEX 10.2. So I was like, all right, and the rear links are like almost 8 inches long, but that's what he wanted, and it's perfect. So that'll go out tomorrow.
Almost sounds like he's
Yeah,
building a 10-2 Wraith.
yeah. Yeah, I've done that. Some people, they have a 10.2 chassis sitting around. They got some Wraith axles. They want a 10.2 Rancho. So that's a new one I need to add to my site. I got the SCX 10 Rancho links on the site, but I need to do the 10.2 Rancho kit. But yeah, that's basically my material options: straight or high clearance. And it's nothing crazy. They're links. There's tons of people out there that make links, but I'm one guy that stands behind my product. And small shop. You're helping a small shop, and I try to keep my prices affordable. So
That is one big thing is your prices are very affordable. Even if you hadn't sponsored me and when I was buying, they are very affordable. Um, for the same
and
price.
you're getting you're getting quality. You're getting straight cut, threaded. It's just they're strong. They're strong. Really, your only weak link on these is the rod end. There's no neck down to a smaller thread that is going to break. There's no threaded insert that goes in that you have to deal with, and then you have what, 10 pieces per link to assemble. These, you get them in the mail, you put your rod ends on and pop in your metal balls, and you bolt them on your truck. So yeah, a lot of good feedback. The brass kits, people ask me all the time, how do the brass hold up? And they're 3/16 solid brass rod, and even the high clearance links, I haven't had one issue. Not one customer has had an issue with them. So, and given that's only since October of last year, it's not that long of a time, but still, I mean, even I've had some people send me videos and stuff, and they are bashing their trucks. I'm like, that is awesome. Thank you for sending me that.
Yeah, that's one thing I can also attest to is you've seen my drive style. It's kind of a very much send it. It
Rush,
if it doesn't break, it's because I built it well, and it's got great parts.
you gotta do a bolt check.
Yeah, I've had a few of those had to do, but yeah, out of curiosity, is there a few at least a consideration with the Delrin or the with titanium? I know a few other well-known guys do it, but I also know that the titanium is literally hell on your tools.
Yeah, it is. It's very hard to work with, and you know, I I just don't work with it. Anybody that asks me for titanium, I send them to Mike Newman with Hardcore RC, and he's a buddy of mine. We used to work together in machine shop and got into RC crawling, and you know things flourished. He started Hardcore RC, way before I started in the Works RC, but that's where I send people when they want titanium. Go with him. Don't go anywhere else. Go to that guy. And I think that's how it should be. I'm not going to try to one up somebody that I'm friends with. I'm going to send the business that way, but I'm going to do links for the other material. And really that's because I don't want to work with titanium. It is hell on tools. It's hard to work with, and yeah, I'm doing pretty well just with those three material options.
That's awesome. The only reason that I think about the Delrin is just pure weight reasons. That might be a great option for the
For
upper
the
links.
have thought about the Delrin, and I mean, back in the day, I know you could get Delrin links that were, cut out, already had the high clearance part in there. They were drilled, tapped, had a thread insert. They were nice, but that's a lot of work that goes into them, and um, it's something that might come in the future. I have a CNC machine in my sights, so if I get that, then Delrin will be happening.
If you get that, you're gonna need another shop because that's
I already have the shop, so I have the shop already. I have the space, and it's just a matter of time. This year's really just to progress and build things so I can do more next year.
gotcha. I see the twinkle in your eyes. That says a lot.
Yeah, we're just getting started. I really hope we are.
Yeah,
Um, you know, where I'll be 5 years from now, I have no idea. But for right now, I'm just trying to, make cool stuff and make it available to other people.
well, the only thing I would guarantee that I just wouldn't quit your day job just because of life.
You
But
know,
that's why you hire good people, assuming you can find them.
yeah, right.
That's the hardest part. So, I'm really looking forward to see where you go with this, Brent. This is enlightening. You got the chassis, you got your whatever else is cooking in your head. Um, you
Yeah, there's
know,
always something.
you probably came up with something as we're sitting here. It just doesn't surprise me. My apologies to your other half for making you sit up for the next hour and a half in your bed typing away.
Oh, it's all good. She's up there watching Hannah, so it's a pretty awesome show.
I haven't seen it. I don't watch much TV, believe it or
Oh, okay.
not. So, but that doesn't mean I won't check it out if it's on Netflix or Hulu.
Yeah, man.
So,
Yeah.
um, you know, outside of this, man, I definitely look forward to seeing you coming up soon to the next comp. For those watching, VA Scalar out in Winchester. VA Scalar is the club that puts it on. Adrenaline RC in Winchester, Virginia, actually hosts and has the whole course. And you've been a part of building that. Willis and just a little
Just,
bit,
just a little bit.
just a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, Willis is,
I came late. I came in late to the VA Scalar group, but they have done some awesome things, and they have for years. And just getting back into the crawling, like I told you earlier, immediately partnered back up with those guys who I used to hang out with before, and yeah, it's really awesome to see the course out there at Adrenaline, which we didn't used to have. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it is a very sweet course. If you guys ever anybody gets a chance, you're coming down 81 and through Winchester, Virginia. I know a bunch of our viewers, Bull Gear, Honey Lula, Sherry, and I know my father likes to come out as well. Stop there. It's going to be worth your time. It's $5. Literally, I shoot them Adrenaline RC a message on Facebook. Hey, I popped the $5 into the door, and off to the crawling courses I go at 8 a.m. on a Monday morning that I said I'm skipping school. Oops, playing hooky.
It happens.
Yeah, it does. So, like I said, definitely look forward to seeing you. Um, anything? Is there anything else you'd like to add? Any words of encouragement to any new crawlers coming out here?
New crawler encouragement. Just get a stronger servo. Just get a strong servo. That's it. And yeah, just go out there every day and crawl and move the rocks around and make it hard.
Yeah, that's a philosophy. Make it fun. It's gonna
Yeah,
flip.
make it hard. Make it
Yeah,
hard. Hard fun.
it is. It
Unless you
also,
finish the course, that's not fun.
but that's another point of discussion for later. But yeah, man, I look forward to seeing you. Definitely want to get out on the rocks, and if we ever get a chance, let's go up to White. I got to shout out White Rose Hobbies LLC for a second up in York, PA. They have an incredible crawling course that is mostly mud and well built. One of the gentlemen that comes out to Adrenaline, with the events hosted by VA Scalar, Bill Riddle, created it. So I want to shout out there. And that's why I referenced, I know your lines, the harder the better. I know his lines, the cleaner the better, with
Yeah,
hardness. And it just scares me with what you two could come up with.
I'm getting better. I'll make sure there's a place for your tire.
Kind of. Or you have to make a place.
Uh huh.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. But anyway, anything else you want to add?
No, man. Yeah, like I said, just working on some new stuff. It'll be coming out, and just stay tuned. There's always something in the works.
Pun intended. Nice.
For real.
All right, Brent. You have a great night. To our viewers, thank you guys for tuning in. Check out intheworksrc.com. I did put it in the live chat comments. INTHEWORKS RC.com. No spaces, no caps, and check him out. He's got some great stuff. All almost actually, I think all of my trucks that have links have your links on them. Um, I don't. Yeah, I I do have another project though.
I like that.
Yeah. Let me
Yep.
put Leaf.
Leaf Project.
Leaf Project.
Nice.
So we'll talk about that later. Something a little bit competitive. Um, yeah, competitive with a company that already has something out to stabilize the rear link leaf springs so they don't twist forward and back.
Oh,
Stabilize that.
I saw that thing.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
use those for real trucks.
yeah,
So the anti-wrap bar.
exactly.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
sounds like I'm gonna have to get my TF2 to you and let you go play.
Oh, it's all. I already got it in here, man. I already know what you need.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
just need to design a miniature version. But yeah, I got it.
Yeah, because you spent so much time on the one-to-one.
Yeah, man. I got it. I can do that no problem.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that later. Because that's my next. That's actually gonna be a dedicated class 1 build, and then that way I'll keep my HPF for class 2, and then baby girl here for class 2, class 3 duty,
Yeah,
whatever's.
dedicated truck for each class.
Or you can get a dedicated set of axles and then work from there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm playing the game. I like playing the game. I like how each one responds.
Done the, yeah. I used to not even do the tire swap for class three. I just run my class two and class three. So,
I do
which
that.
did well, but now it was hard on it. That's for sure. The class three courses were hard on the class two trucks. So, a little bit more wheelbase, a little bit wider, a little bit bigger tire. It's gonna be fun. I can't wait till the gym comp.
Yeah, that's why I'm staring. I'm like, should I use my two? Should I break in my two twos? That's my only question to myself. Uh,
My only now is like I had those pit bull tires narrowed and all that work done to them, and now I'm like, I just don't know if I like them. So I'm like hooked on the freaking Voodoos, man. I love those tires. They're just the rubber compound of them are great. Yeah, but really, yeah, I don't want a 2.2 tire that's a 2.2 size. I don't want it that tall. So I don't know. I'm gonna need 5 tires and we'll send them off.
well, over here I do have two Voodoo KLRs, but
Let
they're not as tall as the
me.
pit bulls.
But where are they?
Hold on, I gotta go off camera for a hot second. You get to see my unskinniness. Here, you know what? Let me grab a comparison. So, here's a stock axial, bone
Yeah.
stock tire. Here's the. So it's definitely bigger, but it's not as large as the Pitbull XLs.
Oh, put the 1.9 in front of the other one. Yeah, like that. Okay. Yeah, that's like perfect. It's kind of
Yeah,
like the diameter I'm going for class three because I don't want something too big because I do have AR-44 axles.
right.
XR wide, of course. They're freaking wide.
Yeah, they
They're
are.
awesome. Beef tubes.
Don't be surprised if you see these going to be coming out with on it. I got to break these in, but don't be surprised when you see these coming out on my class 3. Bull gear is actually thrown out. You see the KLRMs. I'm not gonna lie, I have a set on order.
Yes, yeah, yeah. I've seen them and I want them. I want them, but yeah, I don't have a pre-order out there or anything.
Yeah.
With time, I'm sure they'll come up in a trade or something.
Yeah,
But
I don't know, man. They look like those are like the KLR MTs, the
mhm,
419s in Vex Red. Those are like gold.
nice, yeah.
So I have to find a way to actually I need to vent these better. No, it already is vented. Let me feel it. Yep. I just need to break these in because these have not been broken in at all. And June comp is coming up soon.
I took all my tires apart. Like from the last comp, I took them all apart down to the foams, rinsed them out, dried it out. Like so, yeah. I mean, I got Crawler Innovations foams. Yeah, you got to take care of them.
See, and that's the interesting thing. I'm not gonna lie. I'm abusive to tires and foams. Let me see if I can find it over here. Here's some Intiges. Look at that rust.
Oh wow,
Oh
this is
yeah, those are Intigi.
hmm, weird.
Yeah, well, I never took them apart for about 8 months. And, well, you know how I drive, and I send it. So these stayed wet for a solid 8 months. Sounds about right. Bull run.
Sure, when I put your truck on my workbench, just water started coming out of the tires.
Sorry. So I took the tires off. Yeah, it's true. But the X4s are those are the cleaner. I've cleaned them out because I did an adjustment or two. I did some tuning, but yeah, don't expect whenever that comes up, we'll have to take the tires off again immediately. At least you know.
Yeah, 6 bolts. Take them apart. Let them air out. Put it back together. Take care of your stuff.
Yeah, I know. 6 volts times 20 times 4, 24. I know. I'm hard on things.
Yeah. Well, I want them to be fresh for the next comp, so I can get on the podium.
Well, I mean, I like mine broken in a little extra.
Hey, the tires are broken in, foams are broken in, but when they get clustered up with mud and gunk, they can't work like they're supposed to.
True, and that's why if you watched the video that we did with Willis's son, that's why I ran in the creek, and
I'm making
he
some
was
links right now for Gabe. Yeah, I'm making him some links for that SCX10.
yeah, he did some great driving that day. He did a great job. Um, and I appreciate it. I'm going to shout out him, Gabe as well, just because he saved my truck a couple times when we were doing some playing around. Um, yeah, I agree with you, Bulgaric. Water conditions foam nicely. It really does. These haven't seen anything. I actually got these at Motorama from Flying Hawaiian. Was getting wanted to put out a set, and he's like, well, we worked out a deal. It took a little back and forth, but I can't argue with the price that I paid for these.
Okay.
Yeah, not by a long shot. It was
What?
entertaining. It was like come down to the we got to the dollar. Let's get to the middle of it. It was like 50 cents, 49 cents, 51 cents. We're playing that game,
Uh,
sitting on the bench waiting for 4 hours. It's life. Haggle. But yeah, so we'll definitely get talking. We'll definitely see. I'll definitely see you soon. And these are the 22 KLRs. I know you're gonna buy a set, so go for it.
and we'll see. I'm definitely going to run those pit bulls for the June comp and see how they do. But they were an older XOR tire, and I'm not sure what the compound is. But when you slide your hand across one tire and then you slide it across the Voodoo, you can tell the difference. And that rubber compound is, that's people are like, oh, well, tires don't matter. It's like, yeah, they do. And the rubber matters as well.
It really does. These are the originals.
Passion, and you're spinning tires, maybe they don't matter as much. But for technical crawling, yeah, every piece of the puzzle counts.
Right. These are the original silvers, so I know they need broken in before we even get there. But they're pretty sticky. I need to get some purple power on here.
Yeah,
And let it do its thing.
I never did that to mine.
Really?
Never did the purple power. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I hear is the magic touch.
Huh.
Yeah, it might be. It's worth an investment in that bottle. I'm sure you got a bottle of that sitting around.
That, or I think people are using Simple Green too, aren't they?
I was told not to use Simple Green.
Yeah, because it fans the tire.
Exactly, and it does some weird stuff to the Vex compound. So use the purple power.
I'm not going to do anything.
No,
they work great the way they are.
Yep. They are amazing. I'm very impressed with them. So yeah, we got sidetracked for like 15 minutes. That's life. So guys, I want to say one more time. I want to say thank you, Brent. I definitely look forward to see what you guys are coming out with. Don't be surprised when you see him coming out with something that just pushes the limit. Whether it's something for the Brazen chassis, any of the GCM chassis, go on down the list. You know, your creativity is definitely showing, and it's much appreciated, because that's what, aside from the tiny humans, as they get into it, that's what's going to push our, the hobby forward, is the use of these tools, the creativity, Autodesk, CAD, whatever your go-to program is, just to play around and make it better.
Right. Yep. Everybody just yeah. I always try to get people into it. Yeah, some people just aren't into RC at all, but yeah, I always try to get new people into it. So yeah, man, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Do a little session here, chit chat, go over RC stuff, and yeah, check out intheworksrc.com. Find me on Facebook, Instagram. That's where I get a lot of put a lot of my content up is Instagram. Even stuff I don't share to Facebook. So, yep. Stay tuned.
You can share your stuff on Instagram to Facebook as well.
Yeah, some stuff I just don't. It's
Fair.
just just a quick pic of something. I'm just like, oh, I just want to capture that because like Instagram's basically a big database of pictures for me to keep off my phone. So it's nice to get on there and just be able to go back through from the beginning and look at stuff. It's neat.
That makes sense. All right, Brent. Well, thank you. We'll definitely be in touch as life goes on. To our viewers, thank you for joining in, Jared, Bulgir, Sherry, and I think my dad's in there too. And thank you guys very much. Definitely, we're going to share this, and I appreciate it.
All right, man. Thanks. Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Later.
Later.